But why are we not representing this complexity of what it is to be a woman on screen? Strong, flawed, loving, feminine, aggressive, soft, gentle, all these things. All of us are those things. But why am I not seeing that on the screen? So my journey as an actor, as an artist, has always been like finding those roles for myself. Able to do that. It doesn't matter length of character. It doesn't matter like I mean now I'm getting to do films like Tarla where I'm carrying the responsibility of that on my shoulders. But throughout my career, I've always wanted to play real, living, breathing characters, which I've seen around me. And so when this opportunity came to me, and I remember I had done a show called Maharani. You guys seen Maharani? So I did this show called Maharani, and when season 1 happened, I get a call from Nitish Tiwari and Ashwini Tiwari, and they said, we love the show. And they called me the third day of the show release. They saying, we've binge watched it, we love it, and we were returning producers, and we want to offer you this film. And I was like, wow. And of course, then I got to that Rory Srivalla is also a producer, and then Zee came on board later. And I felt so happy that, this story, and of course I knew about Tarla, I've grown up with her cookbooks lying around the house and everything. But even I did not know the whole journey and what it really meant to be like a female entrepreneur back in the day. And women like her, they really paved the way for all of us. For somebody like me to go out there and just pursue her dreams and be like, it's okay. You don't have to be apologetic about being successful. You don't have to earn lesser than the guy. You don't become a bad mother just because you have dreams of your own. And I'm like, these are the women we need to celebrate because they really laid the foundation of things and things that we all are benefiting from today. So yeah.
I totally agree with the fact that every woman around us, has some kind of a story. You just need to hear it. And for me, also surrounded with so many women and so many powerful stories, and without anybody knowing about them. And it's so amazing. And for you, Renu, growing up with a mom who was so accomplished, and then finding your own niche. How was it for you? You might have also struggled, sometimes. And what is it that I want to do? And can I do it or not? So how did you deal with that?
Growing up with mom, first of all, and it was the most fabulous atmosphere. Mother making all these dishes, the cooking classes, waiting list for cooking classes. We used to pick up the phone, we used to have a waiting list, write it down, and over there at that time they showed, if you want to get married, go to Tarla class. I think that was it. So it was amazing having her around, but she was so humble. She was unbelievable. She never made us feel like we were. She was always there for us. We were all very proud of her cooking classes, her books. Proud in our happiness. And of course, my dad, the supportive role he played for my mom was unbelievable. In those times, encouraging a woman to work, encouraging her to come forward, helping her in so many things that makes so much of a difference when you have a family support. It does make a difference.
Absolutely, it does make a difference when you have men surround supporting you. In fact, daughters also supporting you. Your kids support you more, I feel, because I have a daughter and she's like, when I'm not doing something or I'm down, Mama, you can do it. Why are you worrying about it? Like that. So it's just so amazing that you're surrounded by this whole team that's pushing you and wanting you to do well. It's one thing watching the movie and the trailer, but I'm sure you must have come across many scenes and many situations in the movie when you might have felt which were like very challenging or overwhelming. Would you like to talk about that?
Where do I even start? देखो मैं दिल्ली से हूँ guys. यहाँ पे कोई दिल्ली से हाँ तो मैं नॉर्थ इंडियन मैं I'm a Muslim girl. We grew up in a colony of Punjabis. My आत्मा is Punjabi. तो मुझे बोला गया कि तरला दलाल प्ले करना है. मैंने कहा कैसे मगर मतलब I don't look like your mom. I'm so much taller. She was so petite and face was different and all of that. And also she had such an endearing, beautiful way of talking. Which is so like homely and like lady next door. But at the same time, and she had a particular. And what I loved about her actually is that when she was even talking to her crowd, she didn't talk like a presenter. She just spoke how she would talk like normally. And that is what made her like so special, right? तो मैंने कहा ये तो स्पेशल तो है बट अपनी बात लग जाएगी अब इसको एक्टिंग कैसे करनी है. So then of course I had great help from Piyush, my director, and who by the way is an amazing guy. His first film, he's been working as a writer on Chichori, Dangal, all these wonderful films, and he's co-written this film with Gautam and directed this film, his first film. So but he was very clear that we did not want to caricature. You know what happens normally, especially with Gujarati as a language, right? Like when you try and put in a few words, it's very easy for you to become like a caricaturish representation of that. Because ye nahi karna. But we have to make it real, we have to make it authentic. Now that's a bigger challenge. So we have this wonderful girl called Gita, who I think 50% of what I've done is because of her genius. Because she told me something. She's like, Tarla ji is Gujarati, but like because she grew up amongst Marathis, she had a very Marathi-esque way of talking. But yeah, correct. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. तो हमने उनके सारे पुराने इंटरव्यूज देखे, उनके शोज देखे, and you wouldn't believe it. We actually made like a list of words and how she said them. Yeah. So we did like a whole glossary, like almost like a dictionary to refer to, and then I realized she used her hands a lot. And my mother also did that a lot. And I realized a lot, like, because there's so much going on now. You're doing something, you're giving instructions, you're also cooking. So your mind, because women are so used to multitasking, so sometimes वो audio video match नहीं होता है. If you know what I mean. तो उनका वैसा था. So I'm like, if I can catch on to this energy, which is a very bubbly-esque energy, which is also like a woman who has so many things that she set out to do. Like, if I catch this correctly, then we are home. And I think that was the hardest part. But like I said, we had like a good 2-3 weeks of prep, just reading the script, just trying to understand it, trying to make it really real. I'm sure, like, we did take a few creative liberties, as you know, but I think it was just because you're making a film, a 2 घंटे की picture, and इंसान का पूरा जीवन है, so how do you condense it into that? So sometimes you use like these devices to take the story forward. अरे drink का time नहीं है, it's still 2 hours for it. Okay, chal. It's Coke Zero guys. Later. Thanks.
Yeah, so I also met
This Bombay canteen. I love the food here, so it's not wrong, right? Is it too early to have a drink?
I think all of us need a drink right now because we all are moms and women, like dealing with so many responsibilities, you hardly get time to take a break, right? So we can, indulge in whatever you want. Talking about, Tarla, and my adventure with cooking started because एक बार आप माँ बनते हो ना, उसके पहले तो अंडा पराठा भुजी कुछ भी खा लो, गुजारा चल जाता है. पर एक बार आप माँ बनते हो ना, तब आपको रियलाइज होता है कि शिट, न्यूट्रिशन, प्रोटीन, ये कैसे बनाओ. That's when I came across Tarla Dalal, and I used to watch her videos first because she was so funny and so engaging. Then I used to note down the recipe of jazz. So I can totally relate to the fact.
मैंने पहली बार लाइफ में पिज्जा खाया, मुझे तल्ला दलाल रेसिपी. पहली बार हमारे घर में चाइनीज बना, मुझे तल्ला दलाल रेसिपी. मॉम को डाइटिंग करनी होती तो नो ऑयल कुकिंग. शी यूज्ड टू हैव दिस थिंग ना, yeah, zero oil. That was whatever. First time pasta बना घर में, देसी style. That was
even recipes for kids and babies, for first food for babies, like that. That's what I saw. So coming back to the serious part of it, Renu ji, आप एक business owner हैं अपने आप. And women are always questioned about the choices that they make. Were you ever questioned for the choices that you were making, and how did you deal with that?
Never. You see, my parents in the movie also most progressive. My mother was way ahead of her times, and my dad was so supportive. So I had very progressive parents.
so very well, guys. Moral of the story.
That's true. Very progressive. It's very progressive parents. They let you be, let you find your own calling. So as she puts it that way, we had a business and I took a corporate career. Though I did cook with my mom when I was young. I took a class when I was young. I was all over food. It's a part of our house. Food was all over the house. But I chose a corporate career. So when did I switch into cooking? Because the call came from within. She was no more, and I want to tell you something very interesting. So I told her this. Like my dad used to maintain a notebook and write who would come and what to eat. The person eat. So menus were never repeated in the household. So if you came to eat, you would eat something new. Like you look forward to, what is she making? How would you keep on creating? No, because you can't repeat.
That's insane.
That's really
And what a way to motivate someone, right?
That's
Like,
really motivating.
you can't make this again.
My dad, and my husband to a point. So when my mom was no more, I started going out thinking how do I write, and then I used to like something and write my own recipes, Excel spreadsheet. I kept on trying out new recipes, and then there was no looking back. I released my first cookbook later, a couple of years later, and I've never looked back. I released on her birthday as a tribute to her. So in my cooking, in my recipes, in my book, I always tribute to my mom. Like what she has taught me so many years back. I can pull back in a second. How to serve, how to treat guests, how to make it domestic is not only for your friends and family, even for your husband and kids, means for your family who lives with you, whether your stuff. Everyone wants something new on the table. Do you agree with me, guys?
Absolutely.
So something new was also provided by Tarla, the luck always. And I also try to provide them with my books and the way I write in my life.
So this reminds me of something. So, you know, my father also runs a restaurant.
Yes, you know, yes.
And my dad started his career at the same time your mom did.
Really?
So, 74 Tarla ma'am had her first cookbook.
Yes.
1977 my dad started Salim in Delhi.
Really?
तो कल हम लोग एक interview कर रहे थे. My PR is there, he'll remember. And they said we want to interview you with your dad. Just and of course my dad's cooking is completely opposite to your mom's cooking. Which is hardcore, non-vegetarian, nihari, keema, kaleji, that kind of vibe, right? But you know the ethos is so similar because in the interview he said something and he was like, it doesn't matter. Of course it matters what you serve, but how you serve and how you make your guests feel. अच्छा उन्होंने उर्दू में बोला था और बड़े अच्छे बड़े उर्दू के वर्ड यूज़ किए थे मैं तो भूल भी गई हूँ क्या बोला था but he has a way of a style of talking, you know, and he said how you treat your guests and how you make them feel, they'll never forget that. So it's about the whole experience, right? When you invite someone to your place.
What Huma is saying is exactly right. Like how do you make people feel? Like when you make a special effort, it is visible. It's visible to everyone. They feel very special. And sometimes the dishes on the table become conversation piece. Have you noticed that? We're talking about one dish all the time.
अभी दुनिया का बेस्ट खाना बना लो बोले खा ले तो मज़ा नहीं आएगा ना चल पूछ so you won't get the same vibe but it's about how you make someone feel you know this actually has been made for you, this is something that you like, maybe there's a particular flavor that you like, maybe you enjoy coconut milk, maybe you don't eat fish, maybe it's just about somebody paying that little attention to what you really like. That makes all the difference.
Like my mom also, like somebody was diabetic, she would make a diabetic sweet. So that person made it special. Like Tarla's caring when I come, you know, and the food is always, as she said, you have to look at who you call or who are you dealing with. You may like traditional food, Western, Italian. She will make the food exactly what she thinks the crowd will like, whoever is coming will like. I think that makes all the difference. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And
do you agree? No, that's fine.
so, you know, because my job is to ask questions, so I'm keep interrupting.
तो यहाँ हम लोग तो
So
आपस में बात कर रहे हैं आप भी तो आए हो आ जाओ